Imagine living in a world where wars aren't fought with tanks rolling across borders, but with cyberattacks, sanctions, and artificial intelligence. Welcome to the silent Cold War, the hidden clash between the United States, Russia, and China. It's not the Cold War of the 20th century, with nuclear missiles in Cuba or walls dividing Berlin. This time, it's digital, economic, and psychological, and yet the stakes are just as high. During the First Cold War, the world was divided into two camps, the US and the Soviet Union. The rivalry was clear, the lines were visible. But today, it's not that simple. The rivalry is multipolar. It's not just the US versus one enemy. Now America faces two powerful challengers, Russia and China, often working in tandem. This is what makes the silent Cold War so different and so dangerous. Because it's not fought openly on the battlefield. Instead, it plays out in other arenas. Proxy wars like Ukraine and maybe Taiwan, trade wars, and sanctions, technological races in AI, cyber, and space influence campaigns to shape global opinion. Nuclear weapons are still there, yes. Russia has over 5,000. The US about the same, and China is rapidly building its stockpile. But nuclear missiles aren't the front line anymore. The new weapons are algorithms, supply chains, and perception management. One of the most important shifts is the growing alignment between Moscow and Beijing. In 2025, Putin visited Xi Jinping during the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit. They spoke of resisting Western dominance, building new trade routes, and creating what they call a new world order. Russia provides energy, China provides markets. Together, they challenge the Western-led system. Now, they're not formal allies, both want flexibility, but their convergence is strong enough to tilt the balance of power. In the old Cold War, the USSR and China split apart. Today, they're moving closer together. That's a game changer. This isn't a two-player game anymore. At that same SCO summit, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi sat next to Putin and Xi. India partners with the US in the Indo-Pacific, but still engages with Russia for energy and with China through BRICS. This prevents the world from dividing into neat blocks, like the US versus USSR days. Instead, it's a messy chessboard where powers move carefully, balancing rivals and allies. China is mastering something different, cognitive warfare. It's about shaping how people think. Ambiguity about its nuclear strategy keeps US allies uncertain. Cyber campaigns target democratic societies. Investments in trade tempt smaller nations away from the West. It's winning without fighting. Silent, but incredibly effective. So that's the foundation of the silent Cold War. But how exactly is it being fought? And could it spiral into a global conflict? Let's explore. The AI arms race. In the 20th century, it was about who had more nuclear warheads. Today, it's about who controls artificial intelligence. AI drives autonomous drones, predictive surveillance, financial markets, even space warfare. The danger? An algorithm misreading a rival's move as aggression. A cyber attack spiraling out of control. An AI Sputnik moment, where one nation suddenly leaps ahead, causing panic. Unlike nukes, there are no global treaties to limit AI warfare. That makes this race even riskier than the nuclear one. Direct conflict is unlikely. None of the big three want open war. But the risk is miscalculation. A cyber strike mistaken for a missile attack. An accident in the Taiwan Strait. Proxy wars spiraling beyond control. Remember the Cuban Missile Crisis? Miscommunication nearly triggered nuclear war. Today, with faster weapons and AI systems, the risk is even higher. America knows it can't rely on big invasions anymore. Instead, it uses special operations forces, intelligence, and alliances. NATO strengthened after Ukraine. Quad and AUKUS in the Indo-Pacific balanced China. sanctions, and financial tools target Russia. But Washington has to do something harder than in the past: compete with two major powers at once. Where does this go? 3 possible futures. Arms Control 2.0, treaties not just for nukes, but for AI and cyber. Multipolar governance, SCO, BRICS, and other groups creating new rules outside the West. Economic integration, rivals finding common ground through trade, climate cooperation, and tech. The big question: will this silent Cold War stay cold? Or will silence give way to open conflict? The silent Cold War isn't just a repeat of history. It's something new, something more complex. The US, Russia, and China are shaping the future of this century right now. Whether that future is one of cooperation or catastrophe depends on decisions being made today. So, what do you think? Are we truly in Cold War 2.0? Or is this the start of something even bigger? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives here on GlobalVibe Now. Stay informed, stay engaged, because history isn't behind us, it's happening right now.